Hello and welcome to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video. Today, TGN Anime presents a character profile for Vegeta. One of the first villains of Dragon Ball Z turned into one of the strongest heroes of the entire series. The Prince of All Saiyans is a rush-down type of character with very high mobility, strong on both the ground and in the air. His first special attack is the Super Dash Kick. Quarter circle forward and an attack button will unleash a forward lunging kick. The light attack version is the most basic one, but since it's so fast, it can easily catch opponents off guard. The medium attack version has a bit more range, but loses that surprise element, since Vegeta kicks twice before the actual dash kick. However, if performed at close range, it will actually deal more damage than the light attack version. But it's easier for the opponent to see it coming if you do it from long range. The EX version of this move has the best of both worlds. It has both the range and the surprise element, as this version of the move will always go through the entire screen. Now bear in mind that if you're close to the opponent, the move will still take Vegeta to the other side of the screen, so you will land far away from your opponent after connecting this move, making it hard to follow up with most attacks. But if you're far away to begin with, then you'll end up close after connecting and potentially be able to follow up with almost anything you'd want. Since the medium attack version is easy to see coming from a distance, your opponent will most likely block your attack. If this happens, you'll actually cross over to your opponent's back, so make sure to follow up accordingly. If the opponent wants to punish you for missing that special attack, you need to hold block in the opposite direction. But the best way you can use this move is to prolong combos both on the ground and in the air. Vegeta's second special attack is the Crusher Knee Kick. Quarter circle backwards and an attack button unleashes this diagonal upwards attack. This is Vegeta's anti-air option. The light attack version hits you with a knee, the medium hits with the knee and follows up with a downward kick, knocking the opponent into the ground, and the EX version does exactly the same but with several hits during the knee phase, which deals a bit more damage. Crusher Knee Kick is one of the best anti-air options in the entire game. With barely any wind-up animation, it is very fast. It has good animation priority and it is a very reliable tool for when your opponent is attacking from the air. Vegeta's third special attack is the Ki Blast Rush. Quarter circle forward plus the special button unleashes a series of Ki Blasts from range. If you do this while in the air, the Ki Blasts will be shot towards the ground diagonally. This special attack is slightly faster than simply spamming the Ki Blast button, but its effect is very similar, and the attack properties are also identical. Meaning, if you can super dash through regular Ki Blasts, your opponent can also super dash through your Ki Blast Rush. And since you're stuck in the animation for a while, this becomes a very easy move to punish if used recklessly. Vegeta's final special attack is the Intercept Kick. While in the air, pressing down plus the light attack button has Vegeta performing a downward kick, catching opponents off guard as he quickly descends from the air, transitioning quickly from air combat to ground combat. This is also a very good way to close in the distance, getting closer to your opponent where Vegeta is strongest. Moving on to his super attacks, Vegeta has two supers at his disposal, a level 1 and a level 3. His level 1 super is the Big Bang attack. This can be performed with quarter circle forward followed by the right bumper or right trigger. Vegeta shoots a huge ki blast that travels very fast across the entire screen, but since it's not a giant ki wave like the Kamehameha for example, it requires a more precise timing in some situations. While on the ground, performing this move with the right bumper or trigger will do exactly the same, but while on the air, right bumper will shoot the Big Bang attack forward and right trigger will shoot it downward. So while you're in the air, keep this in mind and follow up with the appropriate button. His strongest attack, his level 3 super, is the Final Flash. This is a full screen ki wave that works both on the ground and in the air. But unlike the Big Bang attack, it cannot be redirected. The Final Flash will always be shot horizontally from the position you're in. Moving on to auto combos, Vegeta has two of them, just like every other character. This is what happens when you mash the light attack button. And this is what happens when you mash the medium attack button. Once again, bear in mind that the second auto combo ends in a super, so it will spend 1 bar of meter. And in the off chance that your opponent bounces off a wall, the auto combo will be smart enough to shoot the Big Bang attack in the right direction. And now that we know Vegeta's moves, here are some tips on how to use them. Vegeta is all about getting in close and using his abilities to deal heavy damage to an opponent, and this is because outside of his supers, he doesn't really have a lot of ranged options. His Ki Blast Rush is one of the easiest abilities to counter, as you can simply super dash right through the Ki Blasts attacks, and Vegeta will be stuck in that animation for a while, making this one of the weakest ranged attacks in the entire game. All of his other abilities are meant to be used for closing in the gap. They may have a lot of range, but they're meant to be used to get in close, where Vegeta's full potential can be unleashed. As I mentioned, the Crusher Knee Kick is one of the strongest anti-air moves in the game. It makes it very easy to counter a jumping opponent or a reckless super dash, which is what most beginners do. So Vegeta will be crushing a lot of casuals for sure. Any of the three variants of this move can be followed up with a big bang attack, whether you hit the light, medium or heavy attack buttons. You can always follow it up with a downward big bang attack. The light attack version can even be followed up with his final flash, so if you want a very easy way to land a level 3, there you go. You see a super dash coming, Crusher Knee Kick to punish that, followed by the final flash. Done. Super Dash Kick is your go-to special move to prolong combos or simply to apply pressure to an opponent. If your adversary is blocking all of your attacks, the EX version of this move can be a very good way to put in some distance before he can punish you. And if you do land this attack, you can always follow it up with any of your supers as well. And speaking of supers, Vegeta is going to require some practice. Not a lot, but since his Big Bang attack is not a full screen key wave, the ability requires a bit more precision on the timing than your typical Kamehameha. And this is especially the case when you're following up another super with Vegeta coming in from the assist position. So don't be surprised if you end up missing your super for a couple of matches while you get the hang of it. Because once you overcome that hurdle, you'll find Vegeta's supers very easy to land in almost any situation. Thank you for watching the character profile for Vegeta. I am so glad you guys are enjoying these types of videos, and Vegeta was certainly one of the most requested characters on last week's video. So let me know which character you'd like me to do next. And speaking of last week's video, if you've missed our character profile for Goku, you can watch it by clicking the video up there. If you're in the mood for something else, there's also the video at the bottom, but as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!